Hey guys. I turned the mic on this time, so hopefully that looks okay. I don't like how short this camera is right now. I need to there we go. Maybe push it back slightly. How's that? Okay. Can you guys hear me, by the way? Okay. Anyway, give me the thumbs up if you can hear me, guys, if it sounds good. I thought I heard myself. Just let me know how it sounds. Yeah. How's it going? Dan says I can't speak for the rest, but I am fabulous. That's nice. Well, okay, good. Sounds good. Great. Thank you. Well, yeah. Happy snow day, guys. I don't know about everyone, but I know Dan and I are having a snow day today. We woke up and it was, I'm sure you did too, Dan, but I woke up and it was white everywhere and it was so fun. And I went outside a little bit. Really, really fluffy, huge snowflakes. Winter is here. I feel like autumn didn't really come. The leaves just dropped and they didn't change color at all. And now it's snowy. It's not even Christmas yet. Yeah. Speaking of drinks, what are you guys drinking? I'm always facing this camera. I have to face that camera. I have to remember that's the camera. What are you guys drinking? As usual, I have the apple cider. That's really the juice that I have around. It's the time and place for it. It's been snowing the past few days here, says Daniel Romano. Where is that? Past few days. Wow. I thought Dan and I would get it probably the worst up in the Northeast. But yeah, so let me see my notes. What do we have? Today we are doing performance art, conceptual art, and new media. How fun. How fun. Especially for me because I am a performance artist. So, hello, I'm in my element here, I suppose. And this is going to be interesting. It's a very short, it's really not long at all. I don't know how long the stream is going to be. I probably should have planned a few more things, but that's okay. We can always look at some new news articles. But it's really not that long in this book. And I'm curious to expand on the topic a little bit more than what we have in this book. And I was talking to my husband Jack about it, and this is his favorite section. It's no wonder he married a performance artist, but he's a huge fan of Yoko Ono and a lot of conceptual artists and stuff like that, and performance artists. So we have a lot of books and other references in this kind of genre that I would like to expand on. So we'll give that its own time and place with a series, I suppose, of streams. If you guys like it, but we always learn stuff in these streams. So I have a feeling, even if people aren't fully into this kind of stuff, because it can get weird, it's interesting to have the dialogue about all the different pieces and the things that people do and the conversations and the theories and stuff. So we can have a good time with it. I was trying to figure out who you were talking about, Daniel. You're I saw a documentary on her and John recently. I'm who? Who are you talking about? Who's she? And then I'm oh, Yoko, yeah. I wonder if it's the same one I saw. I saw a documentary that just came out recently about them. I think it's called One-on-One. And yeah, fun little fact is that Sean Lennon was a Lady Alchemy fan. We're mutuals on social media. And I've chatted with him, so it's really fun. A little fun fact there. there are other fun facts about Sean and Yoko and Jack and I, and like very strange similarities, but like Jack can list them all for you. Yeah, Awesome Mullet 69 said, I'm a big fan of Laurie Anderson. Oh, amazing. My husband is a huge fan of Laurie Anderson and has introduced me to a lot of her material, documentaries or interviews and, performances. And so as a like conceptual artist myself, I guess I should use the term conceptual artist. Well, we'll get into it tonight. So that's exciting. Maybe I'll redefine my art tonight. We'll see. But I consider myself a performance artist because I like to perform. I'm mostly a performer. So like modeling is like kind of, it's performing. So it's there, but it's like not like the full performing. Stage, live performance, art installations, live performing. That's kind of like really what my thing is. But yeah. Cool. Oh yeah, also it is a snow day, so I am very casual today. I apologize. I am just wearing a sweater, minimal makeup, and my hair just up. I'm sorry. Didn't try hard today, and I apologize for that because I am a person that is extremely I'm extremely sloppy, like in person, in real life, at home, just like totally cash. I'll wear whatever comfy socks, I'll wear whatever sweater, whatever pants that is just closest and easiest and comfiest, and I'll look a hot mess. But if I am in the public eye, if I am going out into the world in any, if I'm going out there into the world, I mean, to different varying degrees, I will dress for the occasion, and being live on stream, presenting myself in public to you guys is an occasion, and I always like to dress up to the fullest. And today I am slacking. I apologize. Doesn't really go with the art history theme, this look, whatever. Dan said the Alchemy Magnum Opus stuff is a little deeper than just performing art, I think. Well, yeah, this is really exciting to kind of look into this. Maybe we'll learn a little something. Maybe I'll learn a little something. But before we do, I have had some... Dan said, no socks. So I hate wearing socks. How do you not wear socks when you live in Canada and it's a winter? What are you talking about? Put those giant, manly, comfy socks on. That's what I do. I have just like the biggest, whitest tube socks ever. And I think it's really funny that when like Zoomers made it like trendy to have like the tall socks, I was like, I've been made fun of my entire millennial life for having tall socks. Tall white socks. I don't give a fuck. I mean, tall black socks too. Anyway, what was I saying? So when I prepared for the stream last time for the art stream, I do apologize. I've been all over the place. The time is like, what the fuck time am I streaming? 9 o'clock? Am I doing 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock? What am I doing? I don't know. So I apologize about that. And then it's like, I took some time off again. I mean, after I just came back, we're trying to get our life together here in the house still with a toddler, trying to like figure the streaming business out, and then the holidays. So, I apologize, but last time I was meant to stream, I prepared all of my material, and then like weeks went by and I didn't do an art stream. And I decided that I don't care. I'm going to show you the news articles that I pulled up from last time. And, shit, I hope I have those screenshots. Because when you move shit around, OBS, like, it's like, you need to locate the material. Oh my God, I hope they didn't do that to me. But I put it all in the system, and I basically just swapped everything over from the movie night, and now like we're gonna go back to some old news articles, so whatever, who cares. Anyway, let's see if they work. And before we get to that, I also want to remind you that it really helps me out a lot doing all this artsy stuff. And, I really wish that I had like some sort of funding or something. Apparently, people are just throwing money around on the right at every retard around except me. So, it would help me make art. If you would like to donate, you can go to streamlabs.com/Martina Markota TV/tip. Thank you. All right, let's see if you guys have. Oh, yeah. I mean, I knew I didn't want to get rid of these articles because they were fantastic. Okay, good. I have art news here for you. Art news. Let's see. Okay, I think are we doing this one first? Let me see. Let me go through. Okay, I wanted to get into this whole thing with Anish Kapoor. But I'm not sure that was the first one I wanted to show you guys. Okay, maybe. All right, so I mean, looks like I didn't do a good job preparing because these are the wrong fucking articles. They're the right ones that you're seeing, but I can't read it. So let's look at these headlines. It says, heist at National Museum of Damascus Spurs, search for missing artifacts. Okay, so we have another heist? What the fuck? What's going on? Let me see if I can find this article real quick. Heist at National Museum of Damascus Spurs, search for missing artifacts. Okay, so the National Museum of Damascus closed where is that? Does anyone know what that is? What the fuck is that? Closed temporarily this week following the audacious theft of several artifacts from its classical department. Syrian cultural authorities confirmed on Tuesday. Is it in Syria? Sorry, I'm retarded. Established in 1919, the museum houses thousands of antiques spanning from prehistory through the Roman and Byzantine eras, reflecting Syria's deep cultural heritage. I think it's in Syria. Security at the museum was reinforced at the onset of Syria's 14-year civil war and the subsequent fall of the 54-year Assad regime last December. The building closed for 6 years during the Syrian civil war and again on December 7th, 2024, a day before anti-Assad forces reached Damascus amid fears of looting. The museum reopened this January with its collection intact, only to close briefly this week following the heist. What the fuck is going on in there? A lot going on in Syria, including people doing art heists. Well, it's more like artifact heists. Art and history are interrelated, as I've mentioned a lot, but, the theft reportedly took place on Sunday night. Okay, so this was, November 11th, okay? It's old article, November 11th. So when they say, last Tuesday, it's a month ago. On Sunday night and was discovered Monday morning when a door was found broken. That's when they discovered it. It sounds like some medieval type shit. It's like, Oh, there's a broken door here. Oh, guys, something's missing. Like, that's worse than the Louvre heist situation, security situation. An anonymous source close to museum management told AFP that, I think it's okay, never mind. That 6 items were stolen, describing them as gold. I don't know how to say that. I'm going to sound like an idiot. It's INGOTS. What the fuck is that? INGTOS. Ingot. Sounds like something you'd call someone as like an idiot. Like, what an ingot. Okay. So 6 items were stolen, describing them as gold ingots, but declining to confirm their age or provenance. A security source told the news outlet that several employees and guards at the museum were detained following the theft and were subject to interrogation before being released. According to an official from Syria's Directorate General for Antiques and Museums, who spoke anonymously to the Associated Press, 6 Hellenistic marble statues had also been taken from the classical department. The officials spoke on the condition of anonymity due to government regulations prohibiting public statement. Wow. Art News has contacted Syria's Directorate General for Antiques and Museums for comment. The police chief in Damascus, General Osama Atek, confirmed to state news agency Sana that several statues and prized collectibles were taken from the museum. An investigation is underway. Atek said Syria's arts and culture sector, damaged and looted during 2 decades of conflict, has begun to rebuild. It's interesting how like things are affected because of war and stuff. Even the art, they're beginning to rebuild. The ancient city of Palmyra was targeted in 2014 by the terrorist group ISIS, remember them, which waged a campaign of destruction against heritage sites across Syria, Iraq, and Libya. At least 41 major cultural heritage sites and monuments in Syria were damaged by 2015, including the Temple of Bel, the Temple of Baal-Shamin, the Lion of Alat statue, the Tower of El-Bel, and Arc of Triumph. Earlier this month, UNESCO and the Aleph Foundation organized the first international conference since the fall of Assad, dedicated to restoring Syria's heritage sites. The heist at the National Museum is the last in a string of burglaries targeting cultural institutions worldwide. In October, a Chinese woman was arrested and charged with stealing $1 million worth of gold from the Natural History Museum in Paris in a break-in that occurred just weeks before the historic burglary of jewels from the Louvre. What the fuck? This fucking, in my head, I'm just picturing like in New York City, these like Chinese women like walking around like their fucking flip flops and like a push cart looking for like your recyclables, and then she's just like, yeah, I'm gonna take these gold ignots. Just gonna take those, of course. Anyway, so let me just check in on you guys. Okay, you guys are talking about pulling off a heist like an 80s movie. Okay. All right. You guys are just chilling, I suppose. Okay. Just checking in on the Twitter chat. So, you know, when we had the movie night stream, sorry, I'm just noticing there's a lot of stuff showing on that side that I don't really care for. I might just change some things around here. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so for the movie night, oh god, it's like so fucking annoying that YouTube shut down my stream, and like I got a warning basically, and like I'm gonna get in trouble and not be able to stream if I do it again. But I didn't do anything wrong because I do public domain films and what have you. So I don't know. I'm really bummed about the movie night thing, but what we ended up doing was just going to Twitter and chatting in there, and it was a lot of fun. So I was just curious as to who's gonna just go to Twitter or X, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and who's going to revert back to the YouTube. And so far, no one's really chatting on Twitter, so that's interesting. Everyone's on YouTube. Hello. All right. So there was that article. And then that's all the words I read. Okay. Onassis Foundation doubles down on experimental art and tech with a new space in Tribeca. Okay. So let me just look this up real quick. Okay, so what's going on here? November 11th, that's when this article is from. The Onassis Foundation, let me zoom in, my eyes are shit lately. The Onassis Foundation Experimental Art and Tech Studio, Onassis Onyx. So this is why I thought it would be interesting, because we are doing performance art, conceptual art, and what have you, new media, and this sounds right up the alley that we are doing today. Experimental art and tech studio, and also Manhattan, Tribeca, blah blah blah. This is totally my world. I love this. Wanted to just check out what this was with you guys. So the Onassis Foundation's experimental art and tech studio, Onassis Onyx, is doubling its size at a new location in Manhattan's Tribeca neighborhood. It is slated to open with the multimedia exhibition Techne, 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 Homecoming. So it's Techne in all caps, Homecoming in January. Okay, that's around the corner. Founded in 2020, Onassis Onyx has supported artists working between such mediums as extended reality, XR. I haven't heard of extended reality. Artificial intelligence, AI. Not a fan of AI, but it can be used as a resource. And I've had the conversation with Jack because like we're really anti-AI about stuff. Just slop. But people like Laurie Anderson or these conceptual artists, it is interesting to see what sort of things that they will create with AI. And I'm open to that. But it's just more about like the slop that is like replacing illustrators or filmmakers or like whatever. It's just like, it's never really that great or that good. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but it's been shit lately. You can't depend on it for anything. You ask it a simple question and it just tells you the wrong answer and could just like totally fuck you over. And runs you in circles. But anyway, so yeah, it's interesting how I'm curious and I would like to look up what extended reality XR is. Let me see. Extended reality XR. I'm just going to put like art. What does it say? Extended reality art is a form of creative expression that blends computer simulated elements with the physical world through technologies like augmented reality, AR. I'm obsessed with, I'm obsessed with alternate reality games, gaming, like ARG. Not that I like play them, but the idea of them as like an art concept, conceptual art piece, new media piece. I find it really, really fascinating. I would love to do something with Lady Alchemy with that, but again, if only someone would like to fund my ideas in art, it would be really, really cool. This art form allows for new ways to interact with virtual environments and digital objects, ranging from immersive VR experiences to AR overlays on physical artworks. XR art is used for everything from creating interactive digital galleries and enhancing live performances to developing unique collaborative projects. I mean, I'm still not fully understanding it. There are more aspects to it if you guys are interested in it. I'm fully fascinated now. Let me just check in on you guys. I'm sure there's DMT involved in there somewhere, says Dan. That's funny. Pablo said, I thought all video games were alternate realities. No, I think that... I don't know. I mean, alternate reality games, the ones that I know of, like in like Year Zero or whatever, that's like from a Nine Inch Nails ARG, and it's like all basically like a form of promotion, like, and it's like this crazy game where like you have to like, why did they underline all those letters in that shirt, and then you put it together, and then you like put it in a website, and then you find like a ripped scriptograph or something like that, and you have to like find that code, and then you go to those GPS coordinates and then that phone number, and it's just like a whole fucking thing. But I just think the idea of kind of like altering someone's like real life, like you're playing in real life, and you're playing a game. It's like a treasure hunt. I think Treasure Hunt would be like an alternate reality game. Probably the closest to an alternate reality game. Yeah. Augmented reality is like Pokemon Go. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I did want to see what more of this XR art is. Immersive experience. XR art can transport viewers into entirely new computer-generated worlds for a fully immersive experience through virtual reality. Interactive and collaborative. It allows for new forms of interaction where viewers can affect the artwork or participate in its creation. A collaborative project might, for example, use motion data to create music based on synchronized crocheting movements. Yeah, I've seen something like that with my kid. Where were we? Maybe New York City. The museum? The zoo. Yeah, I think it was the Bronx Zoo. And they had like... where like you could step on the like projection of like fish, and it would water would splash, and it was interactive. I feel like that's kind of part of this. Blended realities, augmented reality, AR adds digital... Oop, shit, my camera just died. Hold on one second. Scared the shit out of me. I'm just gonna put this one on for a second. I'll change the battery. Where are we? Blended realities. Augmented reality, AR, adds digital overlays to the real world. Yeah, so that's like Pokemon Go. This can be used to animate traditional art like murals or allow viewers to see digital sculptures in physical spaces. I feel like we've seen ads like that too. New creative tools. Artists use a variety of tools and technologies, including game engines like Unreal Engine, to build these experiences, which requires thinking about art in 360 degrees rather than in I don't know what the fuck they're talking about there. Accessibility. XR art can make experiences more accessible to a wider audience, including those with physical limitations, by enabling virtual attendance at exhibitions or allowing them to interact with art from anywhere in the world. haptic feedback. Advanced XR art can incorporate haptic feedback using vibrations and touch to allow users to feel digital objects and interfaces, adding another layer of sensory experience. Cool. Cool. Unreal Engine is so overused that people are starting to hate it. I don't even know what the fuck that is. What is that? I don't even know what that is. Okay, sorry. Let me go back to reading this. Let's see what this company in the city is doing. Oh shit, am I like totally on the wrong page? Oh well. Okay, so founded in 2020, they support artists working between such mediums as extended reality, XR, artificial intelligence, AI, and performance at its 645 Fifth Avenue space over the last 5 years. The Art Center has collaborated with a number of institutions, including the Lincoln Center, Pioneer Works, and the MIT Open Documentary Lab. Cool. Its debut exhibition, Techne Homecoming, will showcase new multimedia works by several artists, among them Bjork. Cool. Jack. We should go. And FKA Twigs. Collaborator Andrew Thomas Swang, augmented reality artist Tamiko Teal, and self-taught microbiologist Sister Sylvester, who consider the ways in which identity is shaped by biology, mythology, and technology. Who consider the ways in which identity is shaped by biology, mythology, and technology. I mean, I get it. Occupying the 4th floor at 390 Broadway, alongside the galleries, PPOW, is that what we're calling it? Is that what it is? PPOW? And Matthew Brown Gallery. Oh, the galleries, PPOW and Matthew Brown Gallery. Onassis Onyx, that's what it is, boasts a 6,000 square foot suite of production and exhibition spaces intended for making art using advanced technologies. The facilities include a larger motion capture stage, a 3-wall seamless projection room, an expanded studio sound with a high-fidelity system, and enhanced computational infrastructure with a new server for AI and generative media. I mean, okay, this is exactly what I'm talking about when I'm... Oh, why is there still no signal on? Oh my god. Hold on, you guys still can't see me now. Hold on. Camera 2. Camera 1. No. Where's camera 1? Sorry. 1 second, guys. Hi. Okay, so, but this is what I'm talking about if you're paying attention to what I'm reading here. But this is when people bitch about New York City and they don't get, they're like, oh no, you just didn't get the vibe, right? They're mocking me when I'm talking about, like, the vibe of it. Sure, there's a vibe, but, like, it's also like one of the greatest cities in the world. I mean, come on. Are you really going to get in the middle of nowhere in America, in like this, like whatever town you're in? Like, are you going to get this crazy 6,000 square foot suite of production and exhibition spaces intended for making art using advanced technologies? The facilities include a larger motion capture stage. Hello, amazing. A 3-wall seamless projection room. Amazing. An expanded sound studio with a high fidelity system. I mean, whatever. I don't know anything what that means. An enhanced computational infrastructure. That sounds fancy as fuck. With a new server for AI and generative media. I mean, ooh, servers. I don't know. Everyone's always on about servers. So that sounds amazing. So yeah, that's why New York City is amazing, guys. Like, come on, that's like so dope. If you're like, it's on that like cutting edge of like doing stuff. And this is when we talk about these things in the art history book. I find it interesting in these time periods where they were, whether it's like modern art or contemporary or whatever, and how they were pushing these boundaries and trying to think of new ways to like do things. So we don't live in the 60s. It's not going to be the same pushing boundaries as Yoko did or these other artists did. Like, our pushing boundaries is going to be different. I mean, technology is definitely up there as far as like the new thing that we can play with and toy with to push artistic boundaries and use for resources. Okay, you guys are just having your own conversation, so I'll let you do that. And let me get back to this story here. Our move downtown represents both continuity and transformation. Aphrodite Panagotokwa, artistic director at the Onassis Foundation, said in a statement, "With this new, larger studio in Tribeca, we reaffirm our commitment to artists, offering them the tools, space, and community to create work that expands what art can be in the digital age." I mean, that's fantastic. This is what New York offers, exactly that. It's a place where they're offering artists new tools and space and community, and like, that's amazing. The move marks a larger shift among art galleries, centers, and spaces alike to the Tribeca neighborhood. It also comes on the heels of another expansion for the Onassis Foundation, with Onassis Ready in Athens, Greece. The new experimental cultural space opened in October, a former factory with a mid-career survey of Teller that was a dialogue for the nearby flagship space, Onassis Stegai. The Onassis Foundation continues to invest in the infrastructures of imagination, connecting Athens and New York through creativity and technological inquiry. We offer artists the time, resources, and most importantly, the freedom to choose when to use and when not to use advanced technologies to best serve their artistic vision. That's a really interesting statement. That's a really interesting statement about using advanced technologies for artistic work. Adding in Athens, our new space, Onassis Ready, began its life as a factory, and in many ways it still is. Now we call it a factory of dreams and ideas, where Onyx artists shape their visions and bring them to life. In New York and Athens alike, these spaces are made for artists to flourish, supported by people who believe in their work and the worlds they imagine. I mean, dope. Love that. Cool. Hello, Zombie Box Reviews. Hello. Oof. Pablo says, speak carefully, he'll get accused of ignophobia. Okay, so I did want to go over one more article. But it's like a long thing, and I have like a whole story for it. Personal story. I guess personal story is not that complicated. It's not that like amazing of a story. But I was reading the news article and I was like, oh, why do I know that name? Oh, and I just thought it's a cool little reference to something in my life, or a tangent that deals with someone else's life in my life. But I think I'm going to use the bathroom, and so we'll have a little bit of a break, and we still have to get into the actual art history stream, but that's okay. I told you it's really short. It's like 3 pages. They really don't go much into it, so it's fine. We'll zip through it. But I found that interesting, this article about the Onassis Foundation and, you know, their use of tech and art and the space and, you know, what they're doing there in New York. That's pretty cool. I dig it. Dan, I'm really hyping up the story. It's not really that much of a lore. I just like literally recognized something and like a retard was like, I have that. Or like a 2-year-old. My 2-year-old will go, I have that. And it's basically what I did. I was like, I know that name. I have that. But yeah. So let's take a break for a second. See what I have. Okay, we have movie night commercials. We're not doing that. Commercials. I don't know what ARTSTREAM 4 commercial is, but we will check it out. Okay, so don't go anywhere. If you guys are in here watching, don't go anywhere. We're just having a chill break. I'm monitoring the situation, and I'll be in the chat. So you guys talk amongst yourselves, and it will be like, you know, a few minutes. So you can take a break as well, get some snacks. I'll be back.
Only a short step behind the exterior concept is the design theme of the interior and its concepts of complement in color. Textures must harmonize with colors, and fabrics must be durable as well as artistically compatible with the overall interior theme. Each design concept, exterior as well as interior, is now translated from clay to plaster, from plaster to fiberglass. Thus, the ideas, the concepts, and the dreams of the stylists come to life in the form of full-scale components modeled in fiberglass. To give us the blend of functional beauty, now comes the final transformation into metal, glass, fibers, and fabrics. Modern technology has supplied the American stylist with new materials of intriguing lightness and great strength. The distinguishing marks of the new American look are in art forms, in colors, and in the expressive changes of surface, which bring out the new textures and the interplay of materials. Designs in straight, delicate lines, designs in graceful curves, designs of strength without bulk, beauty of function as well as beauty of form. Indoors or outdoors, wherever we go or wherever we stay, now and in the future, we can all depend on the stylist to beautify everything we need. From the eye appeal and swift effectiveness of the smallest utensils in the kitchen of the future, to the serene grandeur of our glistening structures, the hand of the stylist is ever designing changes to improve our life of the future. Thanks to the American stylist. Yes, thanks to the men and women who design.
Renault 18. Otra forma de sentir el arte.
All right, I'm just going to make sure that that audio works now. Remember to turn it on. How'd you guys like that? How were the commercials? We've got the Renault commercial. Pablo said I didn't read any of that. Okay, I think my audio is back. Pablo said he didn't read any of it, but he did comment on the music. He said it sounds like Smooth Operator by Sade. Yeah, well, so that was a piece that I found going down some weird rabbit hole of experimental film and what have you. And I forget the guy's name or whatever. We'll talk about it some other time. But I downloaded that. It was actually a piece of artwork. And I thought that it fit in this genre as well for like new media and stuff like that. And as you can tell, if you did read it, has all that like, rah, the corporation's bad, TV is programming you, blah, blah, blah. I mean, not wrong. Not wrong. Okay, well, I'll let you simmer about that and think about it. And we'll get back to the art stream. But before I do want to remind you that we've been at this for about an hour now, and I haven't had a donation yet, and it would really make my night. It'll be kind of sad if I get nothing tonight. So it would make me feel really happy and perk me right the fuck up if I get a donation. So think about it. Appreciate it. Dan, I feel like you would appreciate this if anybody. So I hope you read some of that and have some commentary. Okay. But we'll get into the main event now. Well, I guess that's not the full page, because that's just started with conceptual art. Where's the performance art part? Oh my lord. All right, let me dig it up. I'll read it. Let me get it. Okay, art history stream. Where are you? Okay. Art through the ages. Let's go. Chapter 15. Performance art. Okay, here's the beginning of it. It was left on the other page. So, performance artists replace... Ooh. Performance artists replace traditional stationary artworks with movements, gestures, and sounds carried out before an audience whose members may or may not participate in the performance. Initially, these artists anticipating the rebellion and youthful exuberance of the 1960s, staged informal and spontaneous events that pushed art outside the confines of mainstream art institutions, museums, and galleries. All this makes me think of is that I cannot believe these people in the 60s pushing the boundaries of art probably had no idea that what they just described sounds like, what was that trend a few years ago? Where people would just like show up, flash mob? Did that not just sound like they described a flash mob? We're going outside the museums and galleries, outside the confines of mainstream art institutions. We're going on the streets. We're going to be youthful and exuberant and dance around, do a flash mob. Performance art, it's performance art. Performance art also serves as an antidote to the affectation of most traditional art objects and challenged art's function as a commodity. Okay. Yeah, it challenged art's function as a commodity. In the later 1960s, however, museums commissioned performances with increasing frequency, thereby neutralizing much of the subversiveness that characterized this new art form. Yeah, the one piece I did was in an art gallery type of thing, yeah. We have Joseph Beuys, I'm going to call him that, Beuyss. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm calling him Beuys. German artist Joseph Beuys, 1921 to 1986, created actions aimed at illuminating the condition of modern humanity. Okay, so he created actions aimed at illuminating the condition of modern humanity. He wanted to stimulate thought about art and life based in part on his experience as a pilot during World War II. After the enemy shot down his plane over the Crimea, nomadic Tatars nursed him back to health by swaddling his body in fat and swaddling his body in fat and felt to warm him. Sorry, am I like fucking high right now? Questionable. Okay, they nursed him back to health by swaddling his body in fat and felt to warm him. Okay, so felt material, so fat and felt. Okay, so I'm thinking they felt him to warm him, but the way that they worded it was like, okay, they swaddled his body in fat and felt to warm him. To Bayes, conceptual artists like Kossuth challenged the very premises of artistic production, pushing art's boundaries to a point where no concrete definition of art is possible. Oh my god, I'm sorry, these fucking pages are having me all confused. Okay, let me get back to this. Okay. The German artist Joseph Bayes, after World War II, during World War II, his experience as a pilot being shot down, after the enemy shot his plane down in Crimea, these nomadic nurses nursed him back to health by swaddling his body in fat and felt to warm him. To Bayes, fat and felt thus symbolized healing and regeneration, and he incorporated these materials into many of his performances, such as how to explain pictures to a dead hair. How to explain pictures to a dead hair. Figure 1540. Okay, so that's the one that you can see right there. Let me show you a larger picture of it right here. Okay, so this is how to explain pictures to a dead hair. This one-person event consisted of stylized actions evoking a sense of mystery and sacred ritual. That's how I feel about performances. Bayes appeared in a room hung with his drawings, cradling a dead hare to which he spoke softly. Bayes coated his head with honey covered with gold leaf, creating a shimmering mask. In this manner, he took on the role of the shaman, an individual with special spiritual powers. Bayes believed he was acting to help revolutionize human thought so that each human being could become a truly free and creative person. Yeah, the honey on the head and the gold leaf is pretty wild, you know, because like the honey would kind of like move, or would just, the gold leaf would just stay on him, like it's like a paste on him, and he's just like in this gold leaf. I mean, actually, I kind of like that idea. I might do that. Dan said, I'm sure there was a bit of feeling going on while they were wrapping him in fat. And he said, that's the first time I've ever written that particular sentence. Pablo said, based nomadic Pop-Tarts. They felt him, naughty Pop-Tarts. Okay. Yeah, okay. So in this one-person event, let me show you the larger picture again. In this one-person event, performance artist Bayes coated his head with honey and gold leaf. Assuming the role of a shaman, he used stylized actions to evoke a sense of mystery and sacred ritual. What do you guys think about that piece? Dan said, it does raise some interesting questions about ritual, its purpose and creation. Yeah, I mean, I certainly view performance as a ritual. I always have, and that's how I like kind of handle a performance. Think about it, like everybody is in one place and all of their energy is focused on you, and that energy is like power, like it's powerful. What are you going to do with all that energy that people are giving you? I like to take it and like revert it back to the people. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like they didn't really go too deep into performance art and explain it too much. Definitely just really basic. It is going outside the confines of museums and what have you, but then they went back into museums. But it was mostly doing movement and performance, performance art. So then we have conceptual art. The relentless challenges to artistic convention fundamental to the historical avant-garde reached a logical conclusion with conceptual art in the late 1960s. Conceptual artists asserted that the artfulness of art lay in the artist's idea rather than in its final expression. These artists regarded the idea or concept as the defining component of the artwork. Indeed, some conceptual artists eliminated the object altogether. So we have Joseph Kosuth, an American artist, born 1945, was a major proponent of conceptual art. His work operates at the intersection of language and vision, dealing with the relationship between the abstract and the concrete. For example, in 1 and 3 chairs, figure 1541, this one here, let me bring it up closer for you. Kosuth juxtaposed, sorry, I hear some running around upstairs. For example, in 1 and 3 chairs, Kosuth juxtaposed a real chair, a full-scale photograph of a chair, and an enlarged reproduction of a dictionary definition of the word chair. By doing so, the conceptual artist asked the viewer to ponder the notion of what constitutes chairness. Oh my god, this is fantastic. Okay. So, he juxtaposed a real chair, a full-scale photograph of a chair, and an enlarged reproduction of a dictionary definition of the word chair. By doing so, the conceptual artist asked the viewer to ponder the notion of what constitutes chairness. He explained, like everyone else, I inherit the idea of art as a set of formal problems. The radical shift was in changing the idea of art itself. It meant you could have an artwork which was that idea of an artwork, and its formal components weren't important. Its final components weren't important. I felt I had found a way to make art without formal components being confused for an expressionist composition. The expression was in the idea, not the form. The forms were only a device in the service of the idea. Conceptual artists like Kosuth challenged the very premises of artistic productions, pushing art's boundaries to a point where no concrete definition of art is possible. Conceptual art. The right hates it. But it is quite fascinating that they were constantly pushing boundaries, and then they reached this point, and this is why it's in these art history textbooks. I mean, I guess this is the guy that went, hey, I'm going to change the idea of what art is by the art being an idea and not the physical thing anymore. Who thought of that? Well, this guy did. Crazy. Dan said, I've been studying a Objiwa, I don't know how you say that, but it's your native thingy a bit, I think. Lately, the names of many nouns are a description of the object in time rather than in space. That's interesting. Those are the ignorants that fucked up art. Those are the ignots that fucked up the art. You guys are just going off about ignots this entire time in the chat. It's everything's an ignot pun, but that was good. Okay. I told you it was short, so now we have new media, and it's very short as well. Let's just look at this chair real quick. So we have an actual chair, a life-size reproduction of a picture of a chair, and a large-scale picture of the definition of a chair. I mean, fantastic. This is absolutely fucking fantastic. I love that. You know? They're impressed in me. Sometimes you think it's going to be fucking boring, and then you're like, yeah, you know what? I thought it was going to be weird and boring, but that's pretty clever. Alright, so we have new media. During the past half century, many avant-garde artists avant-garde artists, love that, have eagerly embraced new technologies in their attempt to find fresh avenues of artistic expression. I mean, that goes in line with what that news article we were reading. Just think about this section in terms of AI and the modern times, but like we're talking 60s here, so keep everything into perspective and also apply it to today. It's really interesting. During the past half century, many avant-garde artists have eagerly embraced new technologies in their attempt to find fresh avenues of artistic expression. That's the thing, it's finding like new avenues of artistic expression. It's very fascinating to see how people push these boundaries. Among the most popular new media are video recording and computer graphics. Initially, only commercial television studios possessed video equipment. But in the 1960s, with the development of relatively inexpensive portable video recorders and of electronic devices allowing manipulation of recorded video material, artists began to explore in earnest the expressive possibilities of this new technology. In its basic form, video recordings involves a special motion picture camera that captures visible images and translates them into electronic data that can be displayed on a video monitor or television screen. Thank you for describing me that. Video pictures resemble photographs in the amount of detail they contain, but a video image consists of a series of points of light on a grid. Viewers looking at television or video art are not aware of the monitor's surface. Instead, fulfilling the Renaissance ideal, they concentrate on the image and look through the glass surface as through a window into the space beyond. Video images combine the optical realism of photography with the sense that the subjects move in real time in a deep space inside the monitor. Very interesting way of explaining television. Namjoon Paik, I'm going to call her. When video introduced the possibility of manipulating subjects in real time, artists such as Korean-born Namjoon Paik, 1932 to 2006, were eager to work with the medium. After studying music performance, art history, and Eastern philosophy in Korea and Japan, Paik worked with electronic music in Germany in the late 1950s. How cool. What a vibe. In 1965, after relocating to New York City, Pike acquired the first inexpensive video recorder sold in Manhattan, the Sony Portapak, and immediately recorded everything he saw out the window of his taxi. Oh, he. Thought it was a girl. It's the June that threw me. No, I'm June Pike. It's a boy. He immediately recorded everything he saw out the window of his taxi on the return trip to his studio downtown. Experience acquired as artist in residence at television stations WGBH in Boston and WNET in New York allowed him to experiment with the most advanced broadcast video technology. A grant permitted Pike to collaborate with the gifted Japanese engineer inventor Shuya Abe in developing a video synthesizer. This instrument enables artists to manipulate and change the electronic video information in various ways, causing images or parts of images to stretch, shrink, change color, or break up. With the synthesizer, artists can layer images, insert one image into another, or merge images from various cameras with those from video recorders to make a single visual kaleidoscope time collage. This kind of compositional freedom permitted Pike to combine his interest in painting, music, Eastern philosophy, global politics for survival, humanized technology, and cybernetics. Pike called his video works physical music and said his musical background enables him to understand time better than could video artists trained only in painting or sculpture. Pike's best-known video work, Global Groove, figure 1524. Okay, Global Groove. Let's look up close. I mean, it is really cool aesthetics. Global Groove combines in quick succession fragmented sequences of female tap dancers. Poet Allen Ginsberg, 1926 to 1997. Reading his works, a performance by cellist Charlotte Moorman, 1933 to 1991, using a man's back as her instrument, Pepsi commercials from Japanese television, Korean drummers, and a shot of the Living Theater group performing a controversial piece called Paradise Now. Commissioned originally for broadcast over the United Nations satellite, the cascade of imagery in Global Groove gives viewers a glimpse of the rich worldwide television menu Peck had predicted would be available in the future. Let me try to pull up the video. I mean, that's cool. Let me pull up the video. Dan said, I was pondering a similar concept earlier, but about where consciousness happens. Is the head like a television that merely plays the image that's recorded elsewhere? No! How dare you, traitor! Oh my god, what the fuck was that? Oh, more screaming. Sorry, screaming agony. Where the fuck is that playing from? Oh my god. Is Daniel Romano in here? Do you know what that was? So I had the piano music playing, and I guess after the piano music was playing, some other random recording came on, and it was a random recording that I did for Daniel Romano for the Power Rangers little film that he was working on, and I was doing voice acting for, and it was literally playing that in the background. That's fucking hilarious. All right, let's get the piano back on. Oh my god, so ridiculous. Okay, let me find this video. Let's see if I can find it. What is this called? Global Groove. You thought my neighbors were having a fight. I was like, what the fuck is this? What's happening? What's playing? I was like, okay. All right, it's only 3 minutes. This is 1973. This looks like it, though. All right, let me rip it real quick, and we're gonna watch this. Okay. Let me import a video real quick. I think this one's it. Nope, not that one. Oh, where is it? Nothing can be easy when I have you guys on here. Where's the video? Global Groove. Where are you? Okay. Bring you to the desktop. Namjoon. Namjoon. There we go. Video. Let's see how it looks. Let's see if it works. Oh, okay. It's up in the corner.
This is a glimpse of a video landscape of tomorrow, when you will be able to switch to any TV station on the earth, and TV guides will be as fat as the Manhattan telephone book.
Devil with a blue dress,
There we go. Sorry. Turn the mic back on. Fuck. Of course I fucked that up. Sorry. Yeah. We get the point. I turned it off in the middle there at some point because I was worried about like... There we go. Sorry. Turn the mic back on. I was worried about the... There we go. Yeah. We get the point. I turned it off in the middle. Yeah, I turned it off in the middle there because I was worried about like the copyright issue with the music, and I was like, I don't know if I can play this or not. So I was like panicking. Okay, but we are back. Let me see what you guys are up to. No sound. We're back though, right? We're good? We're good? All right. I'm going to just keep saying it. If you guys would like to help me out, you can go to streamlabs.com/Martina Markota TV/tip and send me a little tip, and it would really make my night. Thank you. Are you guys okay? What's the awe about, Jay? Okay. We'll get back to it. Thank you for the link, Jay. Okay, so that was Global Groove, and it combines in quick succession fragmented sequences of female tap dancers, poet Allen Ginsberg reading his work, a performance by cellist Charlotte Moorman using a man's back as her instrument, Pepsi commercials from Japanese television, Korean drummers, and a shot of the Living Theater group performing a controversial piece called Paradise Now. Commissioned originally for broadcast over the United Nations satellite, the cascade of imagery in Global Groove gives viewers a glimpse of the rich worldwide television menu PAC had predicted would be available in the future. I mean, I think that's pretty artsy for the United Nations to air on live TV back in whenever they did this. It says 1972. Looks very groovy. It's definitely a global groove. Has that aesthetic for sure. Very interesting how we blended the technology. And as I said, I think it goes perfectly with the news article that I found. Then we have Bill Viola. For much of his artistic career, Bill Viola, born 1951, has explored the capabilities of digitized imagery, producing many video installations. Artworks created an artistic environment in a room or gallery. Okay, so installations, artworks creating an artistic environment in a room or gallery. Yeah, okay, so I use that in, I call one section of my work art installations, and yeah, it was artworks created in an artistic environment in a room or a gallery. Yeah, often focused on sensory perception. Yeah, the piece is not only heightened viewer awareness of the senses, but also suggests an exploration into the spiritual realm. Yes, yes, yes. That reminds me that, I mean, what is this? We're in new media? I mean, oh, well, he's doing digitized stuff. Yeah. Okay, so new media, digital stuff. Okay. But that whole thing of, what was it? What were they just talking about? Installations. Yeah, so for my art installation that I did, I actually used for the thumbnail. You know how I always like to include my thumbnail, my image somehow in the thumbnail and have it make sense. This thumbnail that I used here is a piece of my Negretto art piece. I'm sure some of you guys have seen it. If you haven't, please go check it out on my YouTube page. and my website, lady-alchemy.com. But that was a piece that I did about Negretto, which is the first phase of the alchemical process. And it was done in a gallery space and in New York City. And Negretto is the first phase, and it's like coming face to face with your demons. It's a darkening, a calcifying, a burning, a purging, a darkening, demons, like kind of thing. And the performance is, I feel, quite powerful when you watch it, but I have to tell you, in person, it was definitely a spiritual experience. It was crazy. It was cool. So, yeah, man, I'm definitely feeling what they're saying about that. And, yeah, installations. So Viola, an American, spent years studying Buddhist, Christian, Sufi, and Zen mysticism because he fervently believes in art's transformative power and in a spiritual view of human nature. Viola designs works encouraging spectator introspection. His recent video projects involve techniques such as extreme slow motion. Ooh, I love that. I love slow motion. Extreme slow motion. I love that. Contrast in scale, shifts in focus, mirrored reflections, staccato editing, and multiple or layered screens to achieve dramatic effects. I love all of that stuff. I think I like new media too. I do all that fun editing stuff. The power of Viola's work is evident in The Crossing, figure 1543. Let me bring it up to, hold on, what am I looking at here? Okay. Art Through the Ages, image slideshow. There we go, look at that. Actually reminds me of one of the fashion shows. Who did it like that? It was like Jean-Paul Gaultier or something. Had something looked like that. It's cool. Let me make it bigger for you. Ooh. Oh, I don't have a close-up of that picture. Whatever, you see it, you get it. It's an installation piece involving video projection on two 16-foot high screens. The artist either shows the two color videos on the front and back of the same screen or on two separate screens in the same installation. In these two companion videos, shown simultaneously on the two screens, a man surrounded in a darkness appears, moving closer until he fills the screen. On one screen, drops of water fall from above onto the man's head, while on the other screen, a small fire breaks out at the man's feet. Over the next few minutes, the water and fire increase in intensity until the man disappears in a torrent of water on one screen. That's what this figure is here. And flames consume the man on the other screen. The deafening roar of a raging fire and a torrential downpour accompanies these visual images. Eventually, everything subsides and fades into darkness. This installation's elemental nature and its presentation in a dark space immerse viewers in a pure sensory experience very much rooted in tangible reality. Yeah, see, this is the kind of, I would say, performance art that Lady Alchemy is more into. Definitely. I love that. I'm going to look up that guy a bit more. But it also, to me, reminds me of theater. And that's what I loved about working at the Box and the stages that I've performed at. Is like when you see a live performance in front of you and you have like that black curtain in the back that just, and then the lighting, when it really pierces a certain way, it will look like the background is like a black void, and then the performer just looks like they're in this like magical light in a black void, and then like fog happens and like lights and all sorts of stuff. It's amazing. So to me, that is what is so powerful about live performance, is exactly that. It creates the sensory experience. It's happening live in front of you. It's like the crazy, like, black stark void that is created on stage with like specific lighting, and enhances like feelings and emotions and your sensory everything. It's really amazing. I love it. Pablo says reminds me of Flashdance. Ridiculous. Really cool. I love that. Okay, so then we have Matthew Barney. One of the major trends in the art world of the first decade of the 21st century is the relaxation of the traditional boundaries between and among artistic media. In fact, many artists today are creating vast and complex multimedia installations combining new and traditional media. One of these artists is Matthew Barney, born 1967. The 2003 installation, let me show you the figure. I have to bring it up. Let me see if it's on here, because it is one of those the beginning of the chapter pieces of artwork, so it's like, yeah, it's not in here. Hold on. Let me add it to this. There we go. That's the one. Okay, so this to me looks like it's at the Guggenheim. Let's see. Let me make a bigger picture for you. So, this installation of his epic Cremaster cycle at the Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum in New York City, yeah, I knew it was the Guggenheim, typifies the expansive scale of many contemporary works. A multimedia extravaganza involving drawings, photographs, sculptures, video performances, and films. The Cremaster cycle is a lengthy narrative that takes place in a self-enclosed universe Barney created. I don't know. Looks like it's just some shit going on at the Guggenheim, but there's also some weird, like, I don't know, weird furry looking type thing at the top screen there, if you see. I don't know. Whatever. The title of the work refers to the cremaster muscle. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Cremaster muscle, which controls testicular contractions in response to external stimuli. Barney uses the development of this muscle in the embryonic process of sexual differentiation as the conceptual springboard for the entire cremaster project, in which he explores the notion of creation in expansive and complicated ways. The cycle's narrative, revealed in the 5 feature-length films and the artworks, makes reference to, among other things, a musical review in Boise, Idaho, Barney's hometown, the life cycle of bees, the execution of convicted murderer Gary Gilmore, Celtic mythology, Masonic rituals, a motorcycle race, and a lyric opera set in the late 19th century Budapest. In the installation, Barney tied the artworks together conceptually by a 5-channel video piece projected on screens hanging in the Guggenheim's rotunda. Love that word, rotunda. Sounds like a fat broad. Immersion in Barney's constructed world is disorienting and overwhelming, and has a force that competes with the immense scale and often frenzied pace of contemporary life. No one knows what the next years and decades will bring, but given the expansive scope of postmodernism, it is likely that no single approach to or style of art will dominate. New technology certainly will continue to redefine what constitutes a work of art. I mean, this is all so crazy because this book was written before AI. So it's crazy that they said that. It's like, if only they knew. Thus, the universally expanding presence of computers, digital technology, and the internet may well erode what few conceptual and geographical boundaries remain and make art and information about art available and let me do that again. Thus, the universally expanding presence of computers, digital technology, and the internet may well erode what few conceptual and geographical boundaries remain and to make art and information about art available to virtually everyone, thereby creating a truly global artistic community. Yeah, I mean, with AI, art can be made by everyone now. I wonder how they feel about that exactly. So, interesting. I mean, what do you guys think about that? That was some heavy shit about new media, especially in the age of AI, and how they kind of wrapped up that. Oh, my eye is hurting me. I think I'm getting like a sty or something. Ow. Damn contacts. You see, I'm wearing glasses today, so. I was wearing new contacts the other day. But yeah, in the age of technology and AI, it's interesting what they said here. I'll just let you guys sit on that one for a second, okay? We may also just... Yeah, I mean, that's the end of that chapter. So I think we are on to chapter 16 next. I'm not exactly sure what that entails, but what is it? We're getting like ethnic with it now. The next few chapters are going to be, we've got the Taj Mahal next. So what, South and Southeast Asia, India and Pakistan. Interesting conversation. We'll see. How do you guys feel about the conceptual art and all that? Pablo said, a global artistic community that often fights over the dumbest shit. That's true. All right, guys. Well, I mean, that's that. Dan says, I feel AI presents a given spiritual danger to art. Every piece of art was inspired some other art, creating a chain that goes back to cave paintings. AI threatens to break that chain. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, testing. Oh my god. Alright, again. So that other like video is playing, audio is playing again. What the fuck? Why does it keep doing that? This like piano song, like, is it supposed to be like really long? I don't know why it keeps bouncing to some other like audio. Like, that's dangerous. What if I had some weird shit or like some shit with my family that's like, I don't want people knowing like children's stuff or whatever. I don't want people hearing that shit just popping up out of nowhere. Good thing it's just my voice acting. All right, yeah. Damn Ignat neighbors. Well, that's that. It's the end of the chapter. And I could be encouraged to stay a little bit longer and finish reading off that final piece of news, but I'll save it for next time unless someone decides that they would like to send a tip tonight, because then that would make me happy that I didn't get nothing. Pablo says, AI makes the Ignats believe they are artists. Oh my God, yeah. The Ignats. Yeah, man. AI makes the Ignats think that they are artists. I love that even Pablo says that. I feel like Pablo, you're really like chill about shit, and you'd be like, yeah, whatever, AI exists, who cares? But you're like, even you're just like, yeah, makes them think that they're artists. Like, look at these silly people calling themselves artists. All right, well, if that's the case, I will see you guys on like Thursday. Let's do ARTSTREAM Thursday. We have to figure out what we're doing for Christmas, because I do have movie night to do, but given the YouTube issue, we may just have to do like a little Twitter action like Thanksgiving. But I'll see you on Thursday. Bye, guys. Bye, guys.